Is suicide a sin? Chances are, if you've landed on this video, because of the way I think YouTube works, it shows you videos that are similar to videos that you've been watching or videos that are close to the searches you've been looking up. And so if you've landed on this video, it probably just wasn't randomly on your wall unless you're a subscriber, then you'd see this video. But if you have landed on this video, chances are that you probably searched out this question, maybe because you had a friend who tried to end their life and maybe they were successful, or you are thinking about ending your own life. And so you're wondering the Christian perspective on suicide, if suicide is a sin. And so, just to jump right into it, when we look at the Bible, there are 7 instances of people who have taken their life. And I'll leave the references right here for you so you can look them up yourself and read them if you'd like. But out of these 7 people, the majority of them are found in the Old Testament, and some were done because of shame. Some were done because they didn't want to die to another person's hand. In Samson's case, he ended his life for the purpose of taking out a bunch of other Philistines around him. But the thing with these accounts is that we aren't told where these people who take their life end up. Um, to give us an answer to the question, is suicide a sin? And so in Christianity, what we tend to do is we look at the 10 commandments there where it says, thou shalt not kill. And we say, well, when you commit suicide, you're killing yourself. And so the amount of guilt that you would have for killing someone else is the same amount of guilt you would have for taking your own life, because that's what you're doing. Instead of choosing to kill someone else, you're choosing to kill yourself. And so, yes, in Christianity, just to give you an answer to this question, it is a sin. And so you have your answer, but if you're contemplating suicide, can I just make a request that you watch just for a couple more minutes here? Because if you're contemplating suicide, the reason you're on YouTube looking this up is because you probably don't want the people around you to know, or you want to kind of keep this private because you probably think that the people around you don't care, or that they don't love you, or they wouldn't miss you if you were gone tomorrow. And if that is you, I want to encourage you by telling you that that's not the truth. Um, I was coaching cross country, and I had a friend not a friend, one of the students who, he graduated from the program, and then a couple years, I think the next year, his freshman year of college, he ended up taking his own life. And so I've seen the effect of suicide, and the way it works is that the markers of someone who is having these thoughts are subtle. And so they think, okay, no one cares about me. No one's going to miss me tomorrow if I take my life today. But then they take their life, and it's not until afterwards at the funeral and afterwards where they're not there to see how many people truly cared for them. It's just, if we were to put this into an analogy, it's like, okay, there's ships in the ocean, a bunch of ships going on, they're doing their own thing, whether they're fishing or transporting stuff or whatever. It's not until an SOS or a mayday go out that they drop what they're doing and they go help the ship that's in trouble. The markers of someone who is dealing with suicide are so subtle that people can miss it pretty easily, unless it is communicated clearly that someone is thinking about taking their own life. Then things start to happen. And so I encourage you, first off, by telling you that you are loved. Um, you, first and foremost, by God, you are a creation of God. God wants you for himself, and the greatest evidence of that is Jesus Christ on the cross. But I can guarantee that there are people in your life who love you as well, and if they knew what you were thinking about doing, they would surround you and help you. But I know that if you've been telling yourself no one cares, if you've been telling yourself you're not loved, that it can be hard to do that. And so I encourage you, um, even right now, to stop this video. Here's a suicide hotline. If you don't want to let someone in your life that you personally know that you're thinking these thoughts, call this line here so you can just send out the mayday, send out the SOS that you're struggling with this. Um, you are not alone. There are people in your life who care for you. They just need to hear the signal that you're struggling. So I encourage you to let someone around you know or call that hotline there to send out the Mayday so that you can see that there are people who care. If you're here because you had a friend who recently tried to take their life, or maybe they were successful and you don't want that to happen again, those markers that I was talking about that are subtle, here's some things that you can look for, especially in our culture today where people kind of joke about taking their life. Like if something, like they failed a test or they have to work an extra shift at work or whatever, they'll be like, "Oh, I'm gonna end my life. I'm gonna kill myself," as like a joke. And so to differentiate between when someone is joking versus when someone is serious, here are the things you can look for. First, someone has a change of personality, where at one point they would go and hang out with friends. Now they are staying at home by themselves and making up excuses not to go out. They might be giving up their possessions, things that are prized to them, things that they care about. They might be giving them away to people. That can be a signal that someone is thinking these thoughts. Um, Another thing is if you hear a friend tell you specifics, like what day they're going to end their life, how they're going to end their life, what time they're going to end their life, where they're going to end their life. If they give you specific details on how they're going to end their life, then they're serious and they need help. And I know a concern here can be that you'll lose the relationship if you might come in and show support to that friend, or if you're like a minor, you go to an adult and let them know that your friend might be struggling with these thoughts. You might lose that relationship because you share this with other people other than the one who's struggling with it. But it is better to lose that relationship and that person to stay alive than for you to lose that relationship when that person ends their life. And so, someone who is struggling with these thoughts, they think they're alone. They are hating themselves. They think no one cares. And the way to combat that is to love them. Love defeats the hate. Love defeats the lies. When someone is struggling with suicide, they need support, so surround them. If again if you listen to that part of a friend whose friend might be struggling with suicide and you are having the thoughts of suicide, don't rely on the markers I just gave of giving out your personal items or pulling back from hanging out with friends as the signal, the mayday, the SOS, to communicate to your friends you're struggling with this. Make it clear. Make it clear through words, through writing, or something that is clear communication that you're struggling with these things. Don't rely on those signals. Those are just for people who want to make sure they are keeping an eye on their friends when their friends might be struggling. Again, if you're dealing with it, you are loved, you are cared for. It's just that people around you, they need to know clearly that you're struggling with it. And then you will see that they care for you and that they love you and that you are not alone. So please share it with the people around you. You are loved. Um, get off this video right now and find someone, even if it's that random person, stranger that you call on the suicide hotline, and let them know that you're struggling. Please let them know that you're struggling and see and watch. It's a challenge for you. Watch how much care comes into your life from other people because you've communicated that. Please let someone know.